What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you're new here, hi, you are welcome. My name is Joecy. Today I'll be doing some myth busting. I am going to be debunking some myths as far as marriage is concerned, based on my own personal experiences and opinions. If you ever heard of some of these myths before you got married and you ended up getting married and you realized that these were just myths, or you got married and realized that this is actually reality, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. I always love to read from you. If you end up enjoying this video, give it a huge thumbs up. That way YouTube can recommend it to more people, and more people are going to discover the channel so that we can continue to grow and thrive. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first myth on my list is that arguments means you are not meant to be. As far as I'm concerned, two people from two different backgrounds, different exposures, grew up in different environments, probably studied different courses in school, have dated different people even before coming together. You have two different brains, you think differently, and you end up getting married. It is just normal that you might not agree on everything. Misunderstandings, miscommunications, disagreements are bound to happen in any healthy relationship. It is how both of you handle these things that determines whether you two are going to end up together or apart. The problem is when these misunderstandings and disagreements turn into serious arguments and it becomes consistent, that every little thing that you guys disagree on, it becomes a heated argument and you end up using insults on each other, calling each other out of their names. It becomes a very uncomfortable environment for both of you to dwell in. If you are listening to understand where the other person is coming from, you will find out that at the end of the day you will understand them better, and both of you will come to a common ground. Number 2 on my list, a good spouse always knows what the other person wants. In as much as it is said that when two people get married, they two become one, it doesn't mean that your brains have now become interwoven with each other's brains and you start thinking the same. If there are things that your spouse likes on a normal day, like that they prefer their tea with no milk, just green tea, or black tea with no sugar, no milk, those are things that you will know. But if it is other things, it is impossible to read the mind of your partner and know exactly what they need or want from you at each point in time. This is where communication comes in, because no matter how long both of you have lived with each other, there will still be situations that you don't know exactly what each other wants. Let me use myself as an example. When I was in labor during my second pregnancy, my husband went to sleep. I was there struggling. In my mind, I assumed that he will notice that I am actually in pains and just be there in case I need him to do something for me. But he comfortably went to sleep. This does not mean that he doesn't care, because he asked me if we could call the hospital and go to the hospital. I told him no, I want to dilate to a certain extent before we go to the hospital, so that when I get there I'll not spend so much time. So he assumed that it was not that serious and he went to sleep. But in my head I was like, what kind of partner will see their partner in labor and they'll go to sleep? I could have easily told him that, he was tired because he came back from work. I could have easily told him that I need you to be awake because I might need you to do one thing or the other. I was very, very angry, but I did not say a word. In my head, I was just like, what more can I say? If he cannot see that I am in pains and he needs to be there by me, what more can I say? And another scenario happened when we were in the warehouse and he was struggling with a piece of furniture. He wanted to move it from one location to the other. I was there busy doing my own things. I did not even notice that he was struggling. When he managed to get to where he was going, he came back and asked me that, could I not come and help him? I was like, help you with what? I did not even know that you needed me to do something for you. It was like I was struggling. I did not even notice. So those are things that are bound to happen every now and then. Sometimes it's not always obvious that your partner needs you to do A, B, or C. If you can communicate, you'll see that some of these things will not be happening. A good spouse must not always know what each other wants. Myth number 3 on my list: you can change your partner. You cannot change your partner. It is just a myth as it is. However, if your partner values the relationship so much and you let them know that there's this behavior of theirs that makes you uncomfortable, or there's this behavior of theirs that is not helping your relationship positively in any way, if they value that relationship that much, they will put in the effort and try to change in order to make the relationship go further and be better. They have to make that decision by themselves. Because if you tell them to change, for example, at the initial stage of the relationship, they might pretend to change, but as time goes by, you will see that they will go back into their old habits because they did not make that decision to change by themselves. They change in order to please you. And if at some point you also stop doing the things that they want you to do, they can go back to those old habits just because they are not getting what they want from the relationship anymore. So they don't see the need to be that person that you wanted them to be. So bottom line is that you cannot change your spouse, but your spouse can change because of you, because of how much they love you and because of how much they value the relationship. They can make that individual decision to change in order to be a better spouse for you and in order to be a better partner in that relationship. But you cannot make them change. Even if you make them change, it can be temporal. It will not last. So don't even try to make them change, but you can communicate your discomfort about some certain behaviors of theirs, and it is left for them to make that change by themselves based on how much they value you and how much they value the relationship that they have with you. Myth number 4 on my list: happy couples have to do everything together. No, happy couples don't have to do everything together. In fact, I'm a firm believer in the idea of each partner having other people out of their relationship that they interact with, that they socialize with, that they go out with from time to time to social functions and do other things apart from their spouse. In as much as our spouses could be our best friends, we still need other people out of the relationship. Because if today, for example, your marriage crashes, God forbid, who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to have on your side? Nobody. In my opinion, I think breakups would be more hurtful for people who did not have any other person that they talk to or that they hang out with. It cannot just be you and your partner every day. Both of you need other people that you interact with. When you go out there, spend time with other people, you'll find yourself missing each other. And when you come back together again at home, it is all fun, love, and joy. You can't possibly do everything every day together with your partner. It can become very boring sometimes. You two can run out of things to do. As far as I'm concerned, you have to have other people that you do other things with outside your relationship, provided your partner knows who you're hanging out with and where you are hanging out at each point in time. Myth number 5 on my list is marriage counseling should be the last resort. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about marriage counseling, and if you end up not agreeing with what I'm going to say, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. This is my own opinion. You don't have to agree with me, right? Even if you agree with me, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section, especially about this particular point. I've come to realize that so many couples only seek marriage counseling out of desperation after a long period of suffering or conflict in their marriage. But as far as I'm concerned, the happiest, healthiest couples can benefit greatly from marriage counseling because it helps fit their relationship bond, and it can go as far as anticipating future problems. You don't have to wait until your marriage starts heading south before you decide to seek marriage counseling. Even if you don't want to meet one-on-one with a counselor, there are a lot of marriage counseling books out there. There are a lot of marriage counseling write-ups out there. Feed your marriage with that knowledge, and you'll realize that when certain situations arises, both of you will easily navigate through without falling into that pit. That is what I believe. If you agree with me, leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you think differently, feel free to share with us in the comment section. Myth number 6 on my list. If your marriage is meant to be, it will be effortless. The reality is that it takes commitment from both partners to make any relationship work. Things don't happen by chance. You have to put in the work to make it work. Every action, every word that comes out of your mouth, every move you take in marriage has to be intentional, and it has to be a word or an action that is going to take your relationship in the right direction. If you just chill and say, oh, I got married to the love of my life, everything is supposed to just flow, you'll realize that one person is feeling unappreciated, the other person is probably feeling ignored, abandoned. Issues will be coming up every now and then. There's no relationship that is effortless. Even in normal relationships between friends and siblings, you can meet somebody and both of you just click or connect on a certain level, but for that relationship to move forward, you have to still put in the work in one way or the other in order to take that relationship from one level to the next. If you don't put in the work, you will not see results. It is what you put in that you take out. Both parties always have to make an effort for the relationship to work. Myth number 7, your spouse completes you. The reality about this is that you were always a complete individual. In fact, you have to be a complete person in order to give the best of yourself to your spouse. Some people come into marriages broken, maybe because of past situations, and you come expecting your spouse to fulfill all your emotional needs. That will be you expecting a little too much from another human being. If you feel like you need to heal emotionally, mentally, financially, physically, on all levels, do that before getting into a relationship so that you can give your spouse the best of yourself. A spouse can complement you but not complete you. Expecting another individual to fulfill all your emotional needs is just totally unrealistic as far as I'm concerned. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Myth number 8 on my list. Having a child brings you closer to your partner. Now, having a child is an enormous undertaking that comes with a whole new set of changes, challenges, and complications, and a lot less sleep. While both of you will certainly not stop loving each other as new parents, you absolutely cannot count on a newborn baby to solve problems in your marriage. If your marriage was having issues before the baby came, the baby will not magically come and solve the problems. You still have to address those issues and solve them if there were any. But if not, as the baby comes, in some situations new problems can actually arise, especially if both parents have different ways of parenting. If both of you don't agree on the parenting skills that you are going to use to bring up your kids, this can actually bring more problems than bringing both of you closer to each other. So don't think that baby is going to automatically solve problems in your marriage. No, it doesn't happen like that all the time. Myth number 9 on my list. Constructive criticisms helps your relationship. As far as I'm concerned, it is possible to remain open and honest with your partner without being overly critical of them to the extent that you incite feelings of defensiveness and inadequacy. Even if you have good intentions, Frequently giving your partner criticisms that you believe to be constructive can cause a lot of distance between you. If your partner is at least making an effort to do things, encourage them, appreciate their efforts. Let your appreciation and encouragement outweigh your criticisms. That is what I'm trying to say, not you. Myth number 10, and the last myth that we are going to be discussing today, is that you should never go to bed angry, or both of you should want to make up immediately after a fight. Temperaments vary. There are people who would get over things quickly, and there are other people who need more time in order to process whatever might have happened before they can return to baseline. And this does not mean that your partner loves you any less if they are the type who need more time after every situation before they can warm back up to you. What is important is to know what each of you needs in order to feel safe reconnecting again, and respect that. If your partner is the type who needs more time, respect that. Understand them and respect that. Give them the time they need, and you'll find that they will be warming back up to you again, and you both will be fine again. Right, guys? If you've watched until now, thank you so much. If you totally enjoyed the video, like it, and if you think someone else needs to see it, you can feel free to share with them. And if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, kindly consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Stay blessed, stay safe, continue to drink a lot of water, and mind the business that pays you. Until I come your way next time, my name is Joecy. I love you all. Bye bye.